When they reached a place called Gethsemane, he said to his disciples,
"Sit here while I pray."
And he took with him Peter, James, and John, and he began to be distressed and agitated. He said to them,
"I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and keep awake."
And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed,
"Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me, yet not as I want, but what you want."
And he went back to where Peter, James, and John were, and found them sleeping.
"Simon, are you asleep? Keep awake and pray that you may not come into this time of trial. For the spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak."
Again, he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And once more he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy. They did not know what to say to him. He went away a third time, and upon returning, he said,
"Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough! The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand."
While he was speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived, and with him was a crowd with swords and clubs, from the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders. The betrayer had given them a sign, saying,
"The one I will kiss is the man. Arrest him and lead him away under guard."
As Jesus approached the group, Judas went up to him,
"Rabbi."
and he kissed him, and the guards laid hands on Jesus and arrested him. But one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the slave of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Then Jesus said to them,
"Have you come out with swords and clubs to arrest me as though I were a bandit? Day after day I was with you in the temple, teaching, and you did not arrest me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled."
And all the disciples deserted him and fled. A certain young man was following Jesus, wearing nothing but a linen cloth. The guards caught him, but he left the linen cloth and ran off naked. The guards took Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests, the elders, and the scribes assembled. Peter had followed at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest, and he was sitting with the guards, warming himself at the fire. Now the chief priests and the whole council were looking for testimony against Jesus to put him to death, but they found none. Many gave false testimony against him, and their testimonies did not agree. Some stood up and gave false testimony against him, saying,
"We heard him say, 'I will destroy the temple that is made with hands, and in 3 days I will build another, not made with human hands.'"
But even on this point, their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood before the assembled group and asked Jesus,
"Have you no answer? Why is it that they testify against you?"
Jesus was silent. Again, the high priest asked him,
"Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?"
"I am. You will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming with clouds of heaven."
"Why do you still need witnesses? You have heard this blasphemy. What is your decision?"
And all of them condemned him to death. Some began to spit on him. They blindfolded him and began to strike him, saying,
"Prophesy."
The guards took him away and beat him. While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by, and when she saw Peter warming himself by the fire, she stared at him.
"You were with Jesus, the man from Nazareth, weren't you?"
"I do not know or understand what you're talking about."
As Peter was walking out into the forecourt, the cock crowed. The servant girl, on seeing Peter again, began telling those around her,
"This man is one of them."
Again, Peter denied it. This time, one of the bystanders said to Peter,
"Certainly you are one of them, for you are a Galilean."
"I do not know what you're talking about."
At that moment, the cock crowed for a second time, And Peter remembered that Jesus had told him, "Before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And Peter broke down and wept.